Hi, everybody. I wanted to say hello and take a couple of questions until I start with, I've started, but until I have my break is over. I don't usually take breaks during the day, but sometimes people move around their session times, which is what happened. Anyway, you guys should definitely be listening to my podcast. My most recent subscriber, no, actually, it was free episode, was about men in IT and the relationship issues that they have. So a lot of guys in IT are pretty factual and not too good with emotional expression. So that was kind of one of the things that I talked about, but you would have to listen to hear more. And of course, if you have any questions during any of this, you can always ask me questions in the comments and I get to them, really all of them. And you should also be in my Facebook group, which is super fun. And there's a lot of people there who like to listen to the podcast and read the posts and talk about stuff. I also had a super fun AMA, Ask Me Anything, on the Reddit Dead Bedrooms forum. So if any of you are struggling with a dead bedroom or a sexless marriage, you should definitely go look up my answers to those people on the AMA yesterday. It's the subreddit is Dead Bedrooms, and I answered there were lots and lots of questions. I think it ended up being like 100 or 200 comments, maybe close to 200 comments, half of which were me answering people. And I linked to a lot of my articles, so you would probably find that like a good resource to go to the Reddit Ask Me Anything. What else? Yeah, so if you guys have any sort of questions, again, could be about my practice, therapists, therapy, men and women, relationships, intimacy, parenting. These are all the things that I talk about. And if you like to talk to me, then you should definitely be in my Facebook group. And if you are watching this, please send me a like so that I see that you are alive. And that is reassuring to me that everybody out there is not dead. And that would be great. So yeah, I will wait until you guys send me some likes, and then any of the ones of you who are watching in real time, it is almost 12. Thank you for the like. Here's Rob. Thank you, Rob, for asking a question. Can I share my thoughts on attachment theory and marriage? Not in this video. I have multiple hours of reading and listening that you can do on attachment theory. If you go to Spotify and you go to Dr. Psych Mom Show on the app, and you type in attachment, you'll get loads and loads of podcasts. So that's like a super big topic. Be like saying, share your thoughts on parenting in this. The really macro level on attachment theory is attachment comes from your early life experiences with a caregiver and whether you learn to really trust a caregiver and be comfortable with that intimate relationship, which is usually the child and his mother. And if that is a relationship that makes you feel safe and secure, but also allows you to explore, then you will likely be securely attached and you will have fewer relationship problems when you are older. If there are issues with that relationship, which could be no fault of your primary caretaker, they could be distracted, depressed, addicted, overwhelmed, themselves were raised in a difficult childhood, etc., then the caregiver generally either does too much pushing of you to go play by yourself or gives or is too intrusive, and both of those can lead to avoidant attachment in a child, or they are kind of hot and cold. Like when they're there, they're warm and loving, but you can't count on them to be there. Again, depression, addiction, a difficult marriage, other kids, whatever. So those kids end up preoccupied where they're always kind of obsessed with the next time that they'll see their parent, And in adulthood, the preoccupied attachment turn into jealous, controlling, insecure partners. And the avoidant people turn into like super pathologically independent people, And so when these people get together, as they invariably do, that leads to the pursuer-distancer dynamic, which is the most prevalent dynamic in couples counseling. Disorganized, as you bring up, Rob, comes from really an abusive childhood. So you should definitely listen to my podcast called Fearful Avoidant Attachment, because that's the disorganized one. All right. Dwayne says, As a therapist, what is the most difficult thing for men to understand and accept about marriage? That women's libido goes down. You know, that, I mean, men's libido goes down too, but it's usually nothing next to what happens to women with all of the, touchstones of monogamy itself, pregnancy, nursing, raising kids, depression, anxiety, both more prevalent in women, the vicissitudes of the menstrual cycle, and then eventually perimenopause and menopause. So between all of those, women's sex drive tends to drop a lot, and a lot more precipitously than men's does. Of course, both partners respond differently and with more intensity and enthusiasm to a novel partner, as any mammal does. But for men, they have so much testosterone compared to women that the decrement in their intense feelings and their sex drive is really nothing compared to what happens to women. So that can be difficult for men to understand, and is the most transformative thing that I help people understand on my blog and on my podcast and in therapy, is that most of women's libidinal decrease is not due to any one thing. It's just kind of the natural way that women respond within monogamy. Of course, some women are the higher libido partner, particularly if the man is avoidant. Then they can kind of stay in this almost like obsessive limerent stage where they're like totally miserable, but still want to get him invested with sex. And then, of course, when they get older, they usually stop giving a shit and don't care anymore and leave. That's called walk-away wife syndrome. And there's also women who physiologically, certainly there's a normal distribution of everything, and some women have much stronger libidos, and whether the changes of age and monogamy and kids and everything better than others. They usually have a stronger touch, love language, etc. But yeah, that's it, really, Dwayne. That's the one. And if anybody's watching here, give me some likes so that this can go up in the algorithm and other people can see this live. But when men start to realize that, kind of it's just natural, it isn't about them. It's like after the honeymoon stage fades and the drunken, giddy feeling of that, yeah, she's not going to act like she just met you because she didn't. And it's not like she shouldn't try, to get herself in the mood with, responsive desire. That's another big one. I'd say that's equal. So women's libido decrease within marriage, and also responsive desire, which I have podcasts and posts about that. But that means that women have to start having sexual contact to get aroused, and then that arousal leads to desire, but they can't experience the arousal, most women, many women, unless they start the sexual contact. And that's also a very big realization for women who are like, oh, I guess I have to start, foreplay, start kissing, start something to even see if I can get into the mood. I'm not going to experience spontaneous arousal anymore within monogamy at this age, etc., unless I'm like ovulating or some like magical thing just happened, So yeah. All right, so I'm going to have to go to a client. Thank you guys so much. Please send me likes right now before I go. That would be very nice. And yeah, y'all should be in my Facebook group. You guys should be listening to my podcast. If you are fans of any subreddits, you can have them invite me to do an Ask Me Anything, because that was fun too. And I'll talk to y'all soon. Have a great day. Bye-bye.